Okay, we're on YouTube now, and the recording will begin.
Thank you, Audrey. All right, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us here at the Guam Housing Urban Renewal Authority's main office in Sinahanya. It is 12 p.m., June 18th, 2024. This is our monthly Board of Commissioners regular scheduled meeting. First on our agenda will be roll call. Commissioner Torres.
Here.
Thank you. Commissioner Corpus.
Present.
Thank you.
Present.
Thank you. Chairman Rivera is excused from today's meeting, along with Commissioner Nish. Okay. Next item on would be the approval of the board meetings and public announcements that were published in the newspapers, and we have two. By the way, excuse me, considering the roll call, wanted to interject that we do have enough to form quorum. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Okay, if you have any questions in terms of the publication, we'll move on to item number 3. Any commissioners, any questions?
No, that's
Sorry.
the first one's on the 11th, second on the 16th.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Commissioner Corpus. All right, item number 3, approval of previous board minutes. And this was from the 28th of May, 2024.
There is a typo on page 8 under discussion. Fourth one down, it should be a bus stop, not a bus stop.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Page 11, I think, said, GHURA will have to meet NEPA requirement. I think it's NEPA, National Environmental Policy Act, not. Unless there's another organization that I'm missing.
Madam Director.
Hi, I don't have any corrections.
Okay, I would just wanted to get clarification for, thank you. If we can get clarification on page 11 of the previous board minutes.
Oh,
On page-
sorry.
No worries. We are just in the second paragraph. Just to confirm the acronym NEPA, if that is correct, is that the correct spelling?
Oh, I think it's supposed to be an E,
Okay,
environmental, NEPA.
correct. Yes, thank you, Commissioner Torres. Thank you, Madam Director.
You're welcome.
Commissioners, legal, if anybody has any questions or would like to point out anything that needs to be corrected in addition to what we've already covered.
No.
Yeah. Okay, not seeing anything. May I get a motion to approve our previous board minutes, please, of the 28th of May, 2024.
Also, we approve the minutes of May 28, 2024 with noted corrections.
Thank you, Commissioner. And may I get a second? Thank you, Commissioner. May I please get a show of hands? We'll take a vote. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, previous board minutes, thank you, Commissioners, are now officially approved. Thank you. With subject to corrections. All right, moving along. Item number 4, new business. Resolution number FY 2024-017. This is a resolution approving the 2024 annual PHA plan version 3, significant amendment number 1. Madam Director.
Thank you for that, Vice Chairman Sanchez. Okay, this board resolution is being presented. It actually is approving a significant amendment to the 2024 annual Public Housing Agency plan, which was already approved by the board in, let me see, February. Let me read the resolution and then I can add the highlights to it, okay? Resolution number FY 2024-017, resolution approving the FY 2024 annual PHA plan version 3 significant amendment number 1. Whereas pursuant to section 511 of the Quality Housing and Work Responsibility Act, or QHWRA of 1998, the Guam Housing and Urban Renewal Authority is mandated to develop and submit a Public Housing Agency, or PHA, annual plan to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD. And whereas the FY 2024 annual PHA plan revision 3 is a comprehensive guide to the authority's policies, programs, operations, and strategies for meeting local housing needs and goals for implementation for fiscal year 2024. The FY 2024 annual PHA plan version 3 was approved by HUD on September 19, 2023. And whereas the FY 2024 annual PHA plan version 3 was revised and updated to reflect the addition of the approved November 2023 admissions and continued occupancy plan, or ACUP, which the Board of Commissioners adopted on February 13th, 2024. And whereas the goals and objectives of the FY 2024 annual PHA plan version 3, significant amendment number 1, are consistent with Guam's 5-year consolidated plan, which identifies and prioritizes the housing and community development needs of Guam. And whereas this FY 2024 annual PHA plan version 3, significant amendment number 1, was prepared in accordance with 24 CFR Part 903. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of the Guam Housing and Urban Renewal Authority hereby approves the annual PHA plan version 3, significant amendment number 1, for the fiscal year 2024. Now, Ms. Felisa Nicholas, one of our AMP site managers, normally is the one that presents on this amendment or this resolution. However, she is on bereavement leave. So she did provide some highlights for this resolution. She indicated that the attachments to the board resolution included a portion of the form that you see there, Exhibit 1, which is GQ001 V03. And the GQ001 V03 is a 600-page document, actually, consisting of the Public Housing Agency's plan and exhibits, and the board resolution approving the November 2023 admissions and continued occupancy policy, which is known as the ACUP, is a 500+ pages document. And both of these documents are found on GHURA's website. Because this is a policy update, GHURA had to amend its current PHA plan to incorporate the policy update. So the 2024 PHA plan revision 3 has gone through the public comment public hearing process to include meetings with the resident advisory board members. No comments were received. So after that public hearing period, that's when we were able to bring it to present it to you for your approval in order to update the 2024 annual PHA plan revision 3. Because what will happen is it will remove the March 2023 ACUP and it will add this November 2023 ACUP. So that is the purpose of presenting this for your approval today. Are there any questions?
Appreciate it. So, Madam Director, this is a supersede, assuming it gets, as soon as we approve it to for the PHA's 2024. So this amendment would incorporate the new policy standards, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
And so it will supersede what it will, we will remove the one that was the March 2023 ACUP and add the November 2023 ACUP that was approved by HUD. And because we had to wait to go through the public comment period, now we're able to present it to you to approve that this is the plan with the version 3 with the significant amendment number 1 that will now be on our website.
Okay. We went through this in February, so we're just updating the policy. That's what it is. Commissioners, do you have any questions in terms of this? Yeah. Commissioner,
I have no question.
perfect. Thank you, Madam Director. Legal, do you have anything you want to add to that?
Nothing further, Vice Chair. However, just to say that, again, this is just incorporating all those changes that were approved
Right.
by the board back in February.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. I don't see any issues. May I get a motion on the floor to approve resolution number FY 2024-017?
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve resolution number FY 2024-017. Resolution approving the 2024 annual PHA plan, version 3, significant amendment number 1.
Thank you, Commissioner Torres. May I get a second?
I'll second that.
Commissioner, we call for a vote. Show of hands. That's it. Thank you. Resolution approves FY 2024-017. This resolution approving the 2024 annual PHA plan version 3, significant amendment number 1. Thank you. Moving along, resolution number FY 2024-18. This is a resolution approving 2024 the capital fund program, a 5-year action plan for 2024 to 2028.
Thank you, Vice Chair.
Thank you, Madam Director.
Resolution number FY 2024-018. Resolution approving the Capital Fund Program, or CFP, 5-year action plan from 2024 to 2028. Whereas Section 9 of the U.S. Housing Act of 1937 is the statutory basis for the Public Housing Capital Fund Program, or CFP, as created as part of the Quality Housing and Work Responsibility Act, GHURA of 1998, and whereas the Public Housing Capital Fund Program provides financial assistance to public housing agencies, PHAs, to make physical improvements to the public housing stock, and whereas the Capital Fund Program, CFP, 5-year action plan describes the capital improvements to be undertaken within the 5-year period. The capital improvements are necessary activities to ensure long-term physical and social viability of the PHA's public housing developments. And whereas the goals and objectives of the CFP 5-year action plan are consistent with GHURA's PHA annual plan and Guam's 5-year consolidated plan, which identifies and prioritizes the housing and community development needs of Guam. And whereas this plan was prepared in accordance with 24 CFR Part 905. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of the Guam Housing and Urban Renewal Authority hereby approves the Capital Fund Program 5-year action plan from 2024 to 2028, attached as Exhibit 1 and Exhibit 2. And so what Ms. Philly wanted to share was that the attachments to this resolution, right, do include the 2024 Capital Fund Program Annual Contributions Contract Amendment, or ACC, and then also it lists the proposed projects for the 2024 Capital Fund Program grant. GHURA, again, also had to conduct its public comment / public hearing process to include the meetings with the resident advisory board members. A few comments were received during that time frame to add more projects. So this is now where we're presenting the resolution for your approval of what is projected to be the Capital Fund Program's 5-year action plan and the list of the projects that are going to be undertaken through that. And it's shown on Exhibit 2 for every year what activities are going to be undertaken to improve the public housing units that we have.
Thank you, Madam Director. Commissioners.
I have a question, Director.
Sure.
I see a lot of door replacements. Are they gonna replace the door handles with, like, the lever locks? Because usually, people with disabilities, right? It's a better rather than around. So I mean, I know that's a little bit detailed, but
But most of them are being replaced with the letter lock.
Yeah,
My daughters figured out how to use it.
it's just it's just a question of, you know, further down the road with some of the specs, to make sure that, because people with disabilities are, you know, the lever locks are the best, you know, the door handles.
Right handles,
Right.
yeah. Unless it's Commissioner Corpus's dog, that's.
Yeah.
So I'm not quite sure about the locks, but I think what they do is when they go through and they make their assessment of what improvements need to be made. I'm only seeing here really mostly about whether it's interior doors or exterior doors, that they're really trying to make sure that they're replaced with more solid
Right.
doors than are existing right now. Probably, you know, from the wear and tear over the years. But I don't see any mention of like the doorknobs or what kind of doorknobs there are. So that's not a question, unfortunately, I'm able to answer it this time. And I wish Miss Philly was here to answer that for me. So I'm not aware of, you know, the doors and you know, I know there are some units that are identified as accessible for those with disability. So I would need to check with her and maybe get back to you on that question, Commissioner.
Yeah, I think it's just a suggestion to like make sure that that's incorporated to any, what do you call it, RFP or something, so even if there's nobody there in the future, we don't know who's gonna stay there. They might have disability, or like me today. So, that, I mean, that's just a recommendation.
If I can interject, what I meant was, is that when they replace the doors, they also replace the door handles.
Usually.
And when I asked them about the, you know, because that's better than trying to turn. I
Yeah,
said they were doing on most of the, you know, on all the replacement doors, they would use that type of doorknob.
We're not,
okay.
So that's why I was interjecting that into it.
right.
I'm not sure if they actually are, but I was told that by the maintenance crew, and they're pretty good on that.
Duly noted. I will ask Miss Philly to get back to you on, you know, what is included in the scope of work. If that's something that they include in the scope of work is the type of doorknob. Okay?
Thank you.
Sorry, I can't answer it at this time.
No,
It's okay, we'll get mad at Ms. Philly later. We'll get her. But yeah, Madam Director, when you, if it's possible, when you get around to it, yeah, that'd be great for all of us to be aware, because, you know, we naturally want to know where these funds are being allocated in terms of quality of material. Commissioner Torres brings up a very good point in terms of our clients who have disabilities.
Right.
We want to ensure them that we're not in any way sacrificing quality over quantity, and their safety is paramount. So, but yes, thank you, Madam Director, for that. Appreciate it.
And also to keep in mind that a lot of these homes are supposed to be ADA compliant,
Correct.
and make sure that we
Our income
provide.
compliance, right?
Good point.
Thank you, Commissioner Corpus, on that too.
Duly noted. I'll get more information and get back to you. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Madam Director. All right, Commissioners. Any questions, concerns, reservations, praises?
Looks like a lot of improvements, gonna be coming in this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, if I don't have any questions, I'm gonna, may I get a motion, please, to approve resolution number FY 2024-018. This is a resolution approving the 2024 capital fund, or CFP. This is a 5-year action plan for the years of 2024 through 2028. May I get a motion, please?
I move that we approve resolution number FY 2024-18. The capital fund project or program with a 5-year action plan for the year 2024 through 28.
20.
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner. May I get a second, please?
I'll second.
Thank you, Commissioner Torres. Show of hands, may I take a vote, please? Thank you, commissioners. Resolution FY 2024-08 is approved. Thank you. All right, moving along. Item number 3, resolution number FY 2024-019. Resolution approving the 5-year 2025 to 2029 and annual FY 2025 PHA plan. Madam Director.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Resolution number FY 2024-019. Resolution approving the 5-year 2025 through 2029 and annual FY 2025 PHA plan. Whereas pursuant to Section 511 of the Quality Housing and Work Responsibility Act, or QHWRA of 1998, the Guam Housing and Urban Renewal Authority is mandated to develop and submit a Public Housing Agency, or PHA, annual plan to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD. And whereas the 5-year 2025 through 2029 PHA plan identifies the PHA's mission, goals, objectives, as well as any progress made since the prior 5-year plan. The annual 2025 PHA plan is a comprehensive guide to the authority's policies, programs, operations, and strategies for meeting local housing needs and goals for implementation for the upcoming fiscal year. And whereas the goals and objectives of the 5-year 2025 to 2029 PHA plan and annual 2025 PHA plan are consistent with Guam's 5-year consolidated plan, which identifies and prioritizes the housing and community development needs of Guam. And whereas the 5-year 2025 through 2029 PHA plan and the annual 2025 PHA plan were prepared in accordance with 24 CFR Part 903. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of the Guam Housing and Urban Renewal Authority hereby approves the 5-year 2025 to 2029 PHA plan, which is Exhibit 1, and the annual 2025 PHA plan, Exhibit 2, to be effective beginning October 1st, 2024. So Ms. Philly indicated that, the attachments, your Exhibit 1 and Exhibit 2 include the 5-year PHA plan, which consists of GHURA's proposed goals and objectives for the next 5 years, and then also the annual PHA plan, which provides updates to both Section 8, the Housing Choice Voucher Program, and public housing programs. So it includes a progress report of GHURA's activities for both programs for the past year. Both PHA plans have gone through the public comment / public hearing process to include the meetings with the resident advisory board members. No comments were received, which is why now we're presenting this resolution for the board to approve. If you have any questions, I hope I will be able to answer them.
Thank you, Director.
I just had one question.
Sure, Commissioner.
You probably have I'm only seeing, well, okay, beginning on this last one, resolved the Board of Commissioners Guam Housing. Effective date October 1st, 2024, and that would give us 5 years from 24th until the 2029 on the first resolution we just passed. It doesn't show where it starts, and there's only 4 years there. Is that correct? Or I'm assuming they're going to start early on the 2023 then? It's already begun? And this is an update?
Yeah, we're doing a resolution to, because this pass was already approved.
That's correct.
Right. So, Madam Director, Commissioner.
Yeah, I couldn't really clearly hear Commissioner Carl. So can you repeat what the question was?
Well, the question was on the last resolution, well, one you just read, ma'am. October 1st, 2024 is when this was prepared for 2025 through 2029, given it the 5-year action plan on the first one, it wasn't mentioned when it started, but I do believe we passed that in 2023 for
Correct.
the action plan already. Is that right, legal?
The way I'm reading the resolution is, it is for a 5-year period, the resolution you all just passed. And it's inclusive of 2024, 2025, 26, 27, and 28. So that's the way, even though there was no date, but it was, it could be also be referenced to, and again, Philly would probably have that information. It may not be with respect to a fiscal year, but possibly a calendar year.
Calendar year. Yeah, because it wasn't, Commissioner Thorpe was at a point, it wasn't explicitly.
Right, exactly.
Stated, right,
Thank you.
You're welcome.
but it was inferred, yeah.
Yes, and I believe these are standard resolutions
Gotcha.
that are passed every time the ACUP is in fact changed. Yeah.
Modified change.
Right, after, especially after public hearing and comment period.
Perfect, okay.
I think maybe part of the confusion is that the prior resolution, FY 2024-018, also talks about a 5-year action plan. And that period is 2024 through 2028. But remember, that's for the capital fund program.
Right.
Yeah, different from this one, which is the 5-year action plan, you know, for the public housing agency. So yeah, the capital fund program 5-year plan is different from this one, which is why there are 2 different resolutions.
Thank you, Madam Director.
Sure.
Thank you, Madam Director. Thank you, Commissioner Corpus. All right, commissioners, any questions?
I got a question.
Sure.
I guess along the way with this, they'll be reporting back on meeting some of the goals and objectives of the 5-year plan, right, Director? I think that's.
I'm sorry, can you say that again, Commissioner?
I guess you'll be reporting back to the board as far as meeting some of the goals and objectives of this plan, right? How the agency is progressing along that way. I'm just assuming that. Because I like some of the goals and objectives, so it'd be good
To actually see this tangibly for the board and see how all of these approvals are evolving and progressing. So when that time happens, perhaps the director and Dee Dee, you folks could provide the board on
So
all of these resolutions are progressing and evolving in terms of its context.
So I think if you take a look at page 31 of 72, right? The B-.2, but page 31 of 72 at the very bottom, right? That shows the goals and objectives for the next 5 years. And then if you go to page 34 of 72, it includes a report on the progress the GHURA has made in meeting the goals and objectives described in the previous 5-year plan. So is that what you were looking for? There is a report that says what has happened from the previous 5-year plan. It is a progress report, and it's from pages 34 to all the way to, I think, that was the progress report on the prior 5-year plan.
Correct.
Good.
Yeah, thank you. Madam Director, alongside of that, I believe what Commissioner Torres was implying, we will naturally be able to get these progress reports when they come due in the coming years, purely on a future tense level. Yeah, so we're gonna be able to get progress reports of all of this, like we're getting.
Okay. Maybe are you asking for like semi-annual, quarterly, or an annual report?
Something that's very similar to what we're seeing in our board packets today. Like, okay, so like in a couple of years, you'll be able to give us a report on how the CFP and the PHA are and how they're doing, basically.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we could probably request that from our public housing and Section 8, like maybe on an annual basis, right? At the end of the year or at the end of the fiscal year, this is what has happened with the goals and objectives that were proposed today. Is that acceptable?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great, because then we can see whether,
This is
you know,
the trend
the
and what
progress.
Right.
what actually needs to be readdressed, if anything, as opposed to the plan.
Oh, whether there are amendments that need to be made along the way, you mean?
Just in general, how the performance of both of the, or all of these, both the CFP and the PHA, just a progress report in general and how they are performing. Yeah.
So I guess what I'm trying to determine is how frequently do you want the progress report? Quarterly, semi-annually, annually?
No, Commissioner Torres, annually would be sufficient.
Because it's
Okay.
Yeah,
five-year
because it's
plan.
a 5-year, it's an annual plan, 5 years. So I think an annual report would be objective. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I will let our housing programs know that, and because this one is starting the beginning of October of 2024, so it'll be after the end of the fiscal year of September 2025. Okay?
Thank you, Madam Director.
Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate that.
Okay.
All right, Commissioners, any other questions regarding item number 3? Okay, if I'm seeing none, may I get a motion to approve resolution number FY 2024-019?
Chairman, I'd like to make a resolution or approval on resolution number FY 2024-019. Resolution approving the 5-year plan 2025 through 2029 and its annual fiscal year 2025 PHA plan.
Thank you, Commissioner. May I get a second, please?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Commissioner. And then I'm going to take a vote. Show of hands, please, or say aye. Thank you. Motion passes. Item number 3, resolution at number FY 2024-09. This is resolution approving the 5-year 2025 to 2029 and annual FY 2025 PHA plan. Thank you. All right. Moving along to item number 5. This would be the Executive Director's report. Madam Director, I believe this floor is yours.
Thank you very much. For my executive director's report, we're going to forego a division update at this time, and in the interest of time, right? But I did want to give you some updates of some things that have been happening at GHURA the past couple of months. I believe the last time I did an executive director's report pertaining to anything was in February. So I'd like to just give some quick updates of what we've been up to. So the first thing I wanted to share was that, I think you may recall in our February board meeting, I reported that on GHURA's acquisition of properties to increase the affordable rental units with the purchase of a duplex, a fourplex, and that we were hoping to purchase a 21-unit complex in GHURA. So I did want to report that we did close on that property on May 13th. And we were able to purchase the 21-unit complex, which is going to add to our affordable rental inventory. And so the next phase of it now is really going through the rehab process. Okay, so our team has been doing assessments at the site on what needs to happen next so that we can get that complex going for affordable rentals. And then we, on May 2nd and 3rd, we had a supervisory and management training at the University of Guam. The deputy director and I felt that it had been a long time since our GHURA team's supervisory and management staff had undergone training, kind of like as a refresher course on how we could have improved manager and subordinate relationships, and their subordinate relationships. So it turned out to be a very, the team was very pleased that we were able to have them take time out of their very busy schedules for us to do that, because it really was something that we felt would only make things better between, our supervisory staff and their subordinates, better teamwork, right? And then on May 17th, GURA again had 3 of the GCC apprenticeship program graduates receive their certificates on May 17th. And they included staff from one of our AMPs, AMP 3, and we had one from our RP&E staff, and then one from Section 8. So, this is just testament to that we are always trying to make sure that our staff is provided the opportunity to, increase their skill set, right? And improve on their skill set. And so I believe HR does have another set of staff that are going to be going through the apprenticeship program again. And we've had so many that have graduated from apprenticeship programs over the years. It's really one thing that we're very, supportive of. And then at our AMP3 Pagacho Resident Center and Basketball Court on May 18th, in coordination with Department of Public Health and Social Services and various stakeholders, there was a health and wellness fair that was held from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And it was to increase access to quality health services, education and information to improve health outcomes for our island community. And it wasn't just limited to the residents at our Pagacho site. Members of the public were invited to attend, and they were provided with free public health screenings, immunization for children and adults, health education activities from the different public health divisions, and enrollment services for various programs such as WIC, early cancer detection programs, etc. So in coordination with public health, we hope to be able to have more of these health and wellness fairs at the other public housing sites. It was a very successful event and really beneficial to our residents, whether they were our public housing or members of the public who, those kinds of services are sometimes hard for them to come by. And then I know you've all been aware that there are national standards for the physical inspection of real estate for all our public housing units, including Guma Tranquilidad, right? And they used to be known as REAC inspection standards, but now they're known as the INSPIRE inspection standards. And all of our public housing sites, all 4 of them, including Guma Tranquilidad, went through that inspection, the physical inspection, from May 20th all the way through May 31st. So what HUD does is they send out an inspector to go to all those different sites, and they select, so many units to take a look to see how we're doing. And so there's still, the scoring is still under review, and whether or not it's it's going to be used in our overall public housing agency scores is still something that we're awaiting word, because it might be that they might, because it's new, rolling it out has been new for many public housing agencies, not just ours. They may say, no, we're not going to include it as part of your overall score. We'll make it a pass until next year, right? Because it actually was pretty rough. There were some things that didn't work as far as scheduling that was sent to us. So, and even accessing the information that had to be, uploaded. And so coordination for that with off-island HUD counterparts was a challenge. So I'm hoping that this year's inspection will not count as part of our overall agency score, but we'll let you know. And then lastly, I just wanted to let you know that GHURA issued a news release announcing that it will conduct an informational briefing session for housing developers interested in learning about our low-income housing tax credit program, better known as LIHTC, right? It's scheduled for 1:00 p.m. this Thursday, June 20th at the Sinahanya Community Center. And we have several developers who have actually emailed on their interest to attend. So we really look forward to the prospective developers' applications in our efforts to continue to increase the sorely lacking inventory of affordable housing. So that's it in a nutshell. That's what we've been up to, and we'll be letting you know, other activities that are forthcoming. I know one of the things that we've really been looking forward to is the Women's Treatment Center, right? And when that will be, when we will have the ribbon cutting for that. And actually, GHURA's part of it is actually done. We're, I think, expecting the occupancy permit any day soon. But, for it to actually be in compliance with HUD is operations have to start. And so our counterparts getting their operational funds and actually making sure that connectivity and all those other things are in place is what has to happen before we'll announce a ribbon cutting for the facility. But as far as the building itself and all the progress reports that Sunny had been providing up to the last meeting, it's just about the building is really going to be ready, but the operational side of it is what has to be completed before we can have a ribbon cutting. Okay? That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Director. And just to reiterate, congratulations are in order again for our graduates. Can you please extend our appreciation to all of their time and effort and hard work they put into working with our agency. And we look forward to seeing a bright and productive future for all of them. And congratulations on the acquisition of our property in Gigo. Thank you for that. And to all of our app managers, please extend our warm appreciation for Ms. Promendiola at Trinkelidad for her hard work as well. And yes, please keep us posted on our score. That's very important to us, most important above all. But thank you, Madam Director. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Okay. If there's anything else, Madam Director, you would like to add before we move on?
No, that's it as far as Executive Director's report.
Okay, thank you, Madam Director. All right, moving along to item number 6. This is a general discussion announcement. Number 1, HR item, executive management performance evaluation. And this is for the Executive Director, Elizabeth F. Napoli, due on or before July 8, 2024. So you, fellow commissioners, you've not done your evals for the Director and Deputy Director, please work with Ms. Kim on getting that done.
So apologies, but Ms. Kim is on, a well-deserved leave, right? But she does have Ms. Cherry Kennedy there. And he was for a reminder that the deputy and myself have to be evaluated by those timelines. And so I'll let Ms. Cherry take over.
Okay, good afternoon again, everybody. I'm here on behalf of Ms. Kim. She is just reminding everybody, as mentioned by the Vice Chair, on the deadline on or before. But thankfully, one of the commissioners already submitted theirs, and it will be ready for collation once everybody's in. So the hard copy will be submitted to HR for us to tabulate. And then we will then email or report it back to the board once everything is complete. So we already have set the deadline here. And what else do I need to, and if I think it was emailed by Ms. Kim, the forms and everything. Yeah, it's in your email. All right, and allow me to make another announcement too. I asked permission from Ms. Liz regarding the ethics training attorney. It's I think the gov law can be stickler because it's a mandatory.
Correct.
And yeah, and for Mr. Torres, who's new here, I think the schedule for ethics training is tentatively on July 31. It will be at UOG. And I think, I'm not sure if Vice Chair has taken one already and Mr. Torres.
July 31.
July 31, tentatively. We will give you the reminder and the announcement soon. Yeah, it's a mandatory for if you're a new employee, it has to be within 6 months that you need to take one. And for the rest, it has to be renewed every 4 years. Yeah,
4 years?
every 4 years, yes, sir. Yeah. So that's only the two announcement that I have.
Is that the only? Sorry.
So we do have like June 28th, but via Zoom. But I'm not really sure if we can beat with the deadline, considering that we still have to create the DON, we still have to create the purchase order for the payment. But July 31 is quite, yeah.
If I may, Miss Cherry, I
Okay,
think what you can do is a list, right, of those that either have expired ethics training, or the ones that must take it ASAP because it's law. So maybe if you can provide us a list
Okay.
that will disseminate, okay,
Yeah.
before that July 31st scheduled date.
Got it, ma'am. I made an initial tabulation, and so far we have like 19 on the roster, 19 lists from GHURA. Yeah, that already includes the, the commissioner.
So this
everybody.
ethics training is going to be at the BoC, it's not online? Like it did
The
last-
online, ma'am, is June 28th, which is quite tight. But the one in UOG is face-to-face, July 31.
Okay.
I will give you the detail.
I'm sorry, Mr. Good, excuse me. Where at UOG? Which part?
The hall, there's a venue there, sir. I will provide
Gotcha.
you.
Okay, excuse me. Thank
Okay.
you.
I'll provide you with the details. as soon as
Okay.
it's confirmed.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
That's it.
Appreciate it.
June 28th is the other one?
Yeah,
31.
June 28th via Zoom.
20 on Zoom and then face-to-face would be
Face-to-face
on
will
the
be on the 31st, 31st of July.
But I think what Ms. Cherry was saying is that the 28th is a little too close to
Too
the
close.
processing.
Yeah.
Correct.
Because we have to pay for it. So,
Oh,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
and it's not gonna be enough for the determination of
process.
needs
Timing,
and
timing.
also the
Timing,
purchase order. and
yeah.
everything.
understood.
Especially if that Miss Kim will be arriving by that day too. So,
And maybe Ms. Cherry can also look to see if there's any options after July,
yeah,
to see if there's anything on Zoom.
I will.
Thank you, Mr. Ray.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. That's all for HR.
Okay,
Okay,
thank
thank
you.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Yes, so-
Okay, next would be just the next proposed scheduled board meeting set for Tuesday, July 9th, 2024 at 12 p.m. I'm sure Ms. Cato and Ms. Audrey will keep us surprised as well.
July 9th.
July 9th. All right, Madam Director, would you like to add anything else before we adjourn?
No, I think that's it. The tentative scheduled board meeting for July 9th, we will let you know before then. If for some reason, in the interest of some time-sensitive matter, it may need to be pushed back. Instead of the beginning of July, it might need to be a little bit later. But we will let you know as soon as we get information that we need from our different divisions on what has to be ready for you to, to be presented to the board by a certain time. Okay, so it may not be July 9th. That's what we normally would have is on, Tuesday, right? Second Tuesday of the month, but it may need to be pushed back. That's all.
Okay, thank you, Madam Director. We appreciate that. All right, so may I get a motion to adjourn our regular monthly board meeting?
Move that we adjourn, meet next time.
Yes, may I get a second, please? Thank you, Commissioner Torres. Thank you, Commissioner Mellon. May I get a vote? Meeting for June 18, 2024 is adjourned. The time is 12:54. Thank you. Appreciate it. Enjoy your
Thank
week.
you.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Talk to you.
Have a good rest of the week.
You too,
Thank you
Director.
very
Thank
much,
you.
you too.
Yeah.
Now.